go. Wow, very nice.
Right?
Fancy.
Kevin and Kristin, actually, I have something to tell you. We actually filmed this episode already, but it wasn't great. So I went back in time, and we're gonna do it again.
Yeah.
And I influenced Kevin. Last time Kevin didn't have those sweet glasses, so this time we've made at least one significant change, and Kevin's got the glasses this time.
Oh no, my donuts!
Can we go back and maybe change it again so he doesn't have the glasses? Because I don't.
It's been a long, exhausting day. Your troubles just won't go away. One thing that gets you through these is watching cheesy holiday movies. You think that you're above them, but you know that you love them. So get ready to listen. Now here comes Kevin and Kristin. Oh yeah.
Plot plop.
Welcome back. What, Kevin?
What
Why do you have
happened?
so many-
Oh, my ears are falling.
Kevin, you have
That
so
was-
many props.
No, that was, you don't remember the glasses from before. This is a new timeline in which I've influenced him to wear the ears instead.
I am
What?
so confused on time travel, but you know what I'm not confused about is Remark, and we are on week 8, I think.
Wow.
I can't believe it. Talk
By
about time loop.
coincidence. Oh, we should introduce ourselves too.
We should. Hi, my name is Chris for
Hi,
my
my
friends,
name is-
Kristin.
Kevin for my friends, or Kev.
My name is Mike. No one calls me Michael.
We should start. Everyone
We
start
should
calling
start.
him Michael.
It sounds.
No. Don't do
What's
it.
your?
I
what's-
have to
after
take these
little-
off, or I have to back way up, and then I can't see my notes. So I was gonna
Kevin,
wear
it
them.
also makes you look.
That's great.
I'm gonna make this is
Extra
so.
ball.
It
No,
looks.
I know. I noticed it. If I wear them forward, it's not
You
as
look-
bad. But yeah.
I was so confused. I was like, Kevin had some hair, right? Is
Well,
this
I
a,
was
this?
wearing this too in our pre-show. So
What an this is an alternate timeline where Kevin has none of his hair.
no, I'm
It's
completely
all
bald.
on Mike's. It all is on Mike's beard now.
That is a Santa Claus beard if I ever saw one.
Thank you. Brought
We
it up.
are in week 8, which also by coincidence, when this episode comes out, it will be the 8th night of Hanukkah as well.
Yeah.
We planned that.
We
really
planned that.
did. We really did.
We did.
Yeah, Mike was in Miami. Mike, how was Miami?
It was there was a beach and a lot of palm trees. It was beautiful.
That's a great
I
update.
was in. I was further north in Florida. I went to Disney with my daughter. Also, palm trees. We did go to a beach one day, and Kristin was sick.
I was sick. I threw up so much
Oh.
Yeah.
flames on the side of my face.
Go ahead. While you talk about that, I'm going to drink some delicious eggnog. Go on.
So Kevin, we watched 4 movies this weekend. Mike, how many did you watch?
I watched 3 out of 4, so I feel like being away, I did okay.
You did wonderful.
One of them didn't record correctly, so sorry, Paul Campbell. But I'll make it up. I'll make it up.
Okay.
That's okay.
I watched 2 back to back in Florida. I didn't even tell my my family I was staying with, my brother and sister-in-law and niece. When everyone went to bed, I watched 2 episodes back to back. Went to bed at 2 a.m.
Yikes.
Yeah.
I
Bring
didn't do that. I
Bring it.
watched them all at a reasonable hour. I don't know. But the first one, Kevin, was
We
called
watched To All a Good
A Good Night.
Night. Let's both say everything at the same time.
Same time.
This was on Thursday, December 7th at 8 p.m. on the Movies and Mysteries channel, aka Miracles of Christmas, where we saw a small town photographer saves the life of a mysterious man who may just be in town to buy her family's parkland, which is also the location of the annual Christmas celebration.
Oh, man.
We had
I've heard
director Andy Mikita, who directs a lot of the Virgin River show, as well as Family Law. You're going to hear a lot about Virgin River this week. Writer is Betsy Morris, who wrote My Norwegian Holiday. I don't know why I just said holiday like I'm my grandmother.
It's happy holidays, everyone.
Happy holiday. What did you get for the holidays? And starring Kimberly Sustad as Cece. We know her from Lights, Camera, Christmas, and a cameo in Magic and Mistletoe. We'll talk about that.
Oh, what?
And I know I'm going to mispronounce it, so I'm going to say it how a nerd would say this. Mark Gahaname. I think I did it right. As Sam, also from Virgin River. Kristin, lead us off. What'd you think?
I was pleasantly surprised because I'm not going to lie, the previews looked like garbage. And I was like, but Kimberly is not going to be in a garbage movie.
I agree.
So I don't know why I was like believing the previews, right? Like there were twists and turns in this that I was not expecting.
Yeah, man. I agree with you. There were things, and I want to talk about previews and these sneak previews that they do too. As we go through this episode today.
Also titles, just bad titles, I think. I don't know.
I think next year we need to isolate every single title of the movies because the font choices, we've talked about it. Chris is a graphic designer. Mike does so much work with graphics as well that we know. I mean, I know Chris gets on me for some of the font choices I have, but whatever. Oh, come on. But yeah, I mean, it is a hodgepodge of mixed up titles at Hallmark. And I don't know if there's any quality control when it comes to that.
I don't think so. I do think, because I think we've joked about them just like someone getting drunk, writing a whole bunch of titles and then leaving them on the board. And then they're like, what do you want to call this one? And they just shoot a dart at it and they're like, perfect.
I don't know what the operating budget is, but I feel like 1001fonts.com is like the go-to.
I can't. Defont.com is like, thank you, Hallmark.
Yeah, without a doubt. But this thing, to your point, like the preview did not look good, but almost immediately, as soon as they started this movie off with a dog thief, and I don't mean there he is back there. I don't mean someone stole a dog. That dog steals everything, including the hearts of all of us.
Honestly, if that was all the movie was about,
like,
what about a movie where this dog steals stuff and two people go to like recover their stuff and that's where they meet and fall in love? Or like a whole town's secrets are unveiled through this dog stealing their stuff. Like, Hallmark, hire us.
I really thought that was going to come into play, and it did-ish, but not really.
Not really.
So, but I really did. I thought it was going to be like some sort of reveal was going to come out of something that the dog had stolen, and that didn't quite happen. But also, I
sort of did.
The letter, a little bit, but not.
The letter.
Yeah. But the letter, and we can get to that in a minute, because it's important that we bring up another important plot point to this. Not what you think, but there he is. Bongo Santa.
Very good. Very good.
Evil
I
Santa.
want one so bad. Like, where can I? If
we all have that evil,
that as an ornament.
We all have that evil thing, right? Everyone has that evil, maybe not holiday related, but that sort of heirloomy
that you're afraid of.
Yeah, passed along creepy doll / creepy thing that you're like, this has powers.
Ours has been in my daughter's bedroom since she was born, and just this year she said, "Can you get that the hell out of my bedroom?" And I put it in the attic, which in the attic is not better.
Yeah, no, it's gonna get angry. It's gonna get angry.
But it was funny. Hallmark should sell this when we get to Cherry Lane. Cherry Lane, we'll talk about like the product placement. But like this, they missed an opportunity by not having Bongo Santa in the stores this year.
I would buy that in a heartbeat.
I would be willing to bet most of the people that watch this show were like, would buy, definitely
purchased. Like, oh my God, especially since it's a drummer and I come from a drumming family, like that would be, I want
I come from a creepy Santa family.
There was a lot of good stuff that I liked in this. What you were saying, Chris, in terms of the twists and turns, and then the relationship, and I thought they were really great together. I think that's coming up. We'll talk about their chemistry, but I do think now that you've mentioned Dog and Bongo, that there were a lot of little plot plops here, or like a lot of just like random things that happened that didn't really come back into play, other than that they existed again in the next scene. So that was my only like real like gripe. But it was cute story. Good story.
It was cute, this is very important to mention as the #1 Clue fan in the entire universe. Someone's cat in this movie was named Colonel Mustard. That to me was not a plot plop. That to me was
that was pertinent. That was pertinent to the plot.
Information.
Without a doubt. Yeah. We have a motorcycle accident that we don't see, and I get it. We're not going to show that. It happens through the trees and a little off camera. It's all audio. So Kimberly's character of Cece hears it, and then she quickly has, I think she was on the phone when it happened, so she says, call an ambulance, which is great. She assigned that. That's what you're supposed to do. Something goes wrong, you in the red shirt, call 911. That's how we do it. You don't just say somebody call. But she took care of that, and then she saved this dude's life, but did not want him to know because she started to suss out that he might be the bad guy there to buy her family's land. There she is there. That's the nurse friend. And she's like, don't tell him. Don't let him know.
It honestly, like, this was funny to me because at first I was like, wait, he's going to very easily find out that the entire town had her back. And it was so funny.
Not that old dude. That old dude almost spilled the beans, and his wife's like, oh.
Yeah. But I liked it. The whole town was like, oh, okay, we're doing this.
But it shows that they're on her side. And they're also on her side because her family is so important in this town, specifically her dad, who is unfortunately no longer with us.
No.
Yeah, sorry. That's our first dead alert. Everybody.
It's cool.
Alert.
You know that it's the same graveyard. I think all the Hallmark people are buried in the same graveyard. Yeah. This is number 40. Where does this put us? We started with 38, 40, 39.
Unbelievable.
It's happening. It is happening. I love that we have the stepmom. I don't know if they referred to what happened to her mom. So we don't have that here. But his dad or her dad had remarried, and Vivian, which is where Bongo Santa comes from. And it was funny because she's a bit prickly, is the word we typically use. But I loved her. And like she came back around because you realize, and I have a note I want to talk about, but it was also Karen Kruper, who's in all of these Hallmark movies. And she's rarely truly a bad guy. Like even when she's a little bit rough, she's usually by the end, like either her heart melts or what have you. But one of the things I really dug about this was you don't really know your parents the way you think you know your parents, and you're not supposed to know your parents. They're not. Yeah. They're not your peer. They're not your friend. They're your parent. You know, and they keep secrets. And I thought that was kind of the heart of what this movie was, and I freaking liked that a lot. Like the fact that.
I'm just going to say there's always that element that, you know, there's going to be a reveal. There's going to be a misunderstanding of a secret or whatever. That was the one thing that I was like, why don't we just ask him if he's here to sell the property?
Which he ultimately does.
Right. But I just feel like there was such a charade around it.
Yeah. Took a little bit.
Like, so that's the one thing that I'm always like, I get it. That's driving the plot, but also like I think we could drive it differently. But I thought
not on a motorcycle though. You can't drive it on a motorcycle.
Not very good. But I think what was fun also is that he figured it out almost immediately that she was she, and that I liked a lot better. I liked that he was like, all right, I'll let her have this, you know. But then you think that's going to be the like misunderstanding moment. But no, the misunderstanding moment that she gets all mad about is that her dad's been mailing him because he like saved his life and they both were in the army. And I was like, that wasn't like, that was a twist and turn that I was like, cool. Why is she mad?
Do you think she was mad, or I think she was, I mean, maybe she was mad. She felt more like just in the dark on it. And like, you know, again, it's that idea that my dad had this secret. The secret was merely that he wrote, and it probably helped his own mental health. Like, he was an army guy. He was retired. He would write to different people who he met throughout the years, which is how he met Vivian, and they got married. She was a rear admiral in the Navy, which is like she's like, that's not like, you know, he was a sergeant, I think they said Sam was, which, you know, no disrespect at all. It's just like, she was like the elite. And
I think that she was embarrassed more. You know what I mean? Than mad. That he knew more, maybe potentially, about her father and his relationship recently than she did. But I agree with you, Chris. It was annoying at that point in the movie. It was like, and then I do think that the military stuff, which was super important and sweet and nice, and I think is an important story to tell, like, over the holidays, because a lot of people go through that. It just felt a little like quick and forced at the end. I wish it was spread out a little bit more over the course of the movie.
I'm going to respectfully disagree with you guys.
Go for it.
And I did not make a slide for this, because as much as they are plot points and we joke about like the dead wife, the dead mom, whatever, let's not keep it all women, the dead dad, the dead Uncle Steve, whatever it is, his thing came from a real place of darkness. Sam, he had lost 3 of his buddies in the army, which I've added into the count, but I did not make a graphic, nor would I ever do that for this. But I felt, and he talks about like his demons and stuff, and maybe it was alcohol. It was probably drugs, the way he talked about it. Like, he fell off a deep end, and his cousin comes around. His relationship with his cousin was amazing. There she is there. Where she wasn't like this lovey-dovey. It's all that she was all much more like a sister to him. And I think the reason she's a cousin and not a sister is because ultimately she's going to take the family business because he thinks she should. And then the dad sees that, but it wouldn't really have made sense if that was the sister, because of course she could have taken the business in this more progressive world we're living in.
I was rooting for her to be the significant other from the beginning, and they took a long time to announce that she was the cousin. I don't know what it was, but I fell hard, like, crush-wise, with this actor. Right on.
I did think she was gonna be like an ex, or that she liked him, and I actually was slightly relieved when it was a cousin, because I didn't feel like we needed Cece to have to fight again.
She had everything else going against her. She didn't need to deal with that too. But and then this is, there's reveal with the letters and such. Their chemistry was excellent. Like, this guy, I don't want to jump right to H3O, but this guy is so easy on the eyes, and he's such a charismatic dude. Kimberly Sustad is excellent. She has moments where she's, I think she wore something similar to this at one scene.
In that scene.
And able to play the comedy of a scene and the depth of a scene at the exact same time. And I really, really respect that for any actor. And this is not a commentary on, movie of the week actors, but like, you don't have a lot of time to hone that craft. It's a very, very tight.
I also don't think they probably don't get a lot of direction as well, right? So they probably get to just make their choices, and then they're like, "Great, we got it."
Yeah, absolutely. So, and again, that's a great point, Chris. Like, she being a writer, and I believe she is directed, if I'm not mistaken. She's definitely a writer. So I think that probably helps an awful lot in this world to kind of grab that choice, make that strong choice, grab it, and so
yes, he's very easy on the eyes. Thank you.
Overall thoughts?
Overall, I give it a thumbs up.
I agree.
I don't know if I'd watch it again, though.
I might, but I definitely would agree. If somebody watches, I would stay away from the trailer. I would try and stay away from the trailer. If you're like, if you didn't see this movie, and you're like, oh, they speak highly. Let me check out watch the movie. Don't watch the trailer. The trailer doesn't do a job.
I enjoyed it. I think the whole Miracles of Hallmark is a bizarre marketing campaign, and often gets your brain going in one direction. And this was just a fine movie without all that. So anyway, thumbs up. But
I have us at 42 deaths. I added them. No graphics.
Did you add the soldiers? Don't add them.
I had to because it was mentioned. I did. I mentioned.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I see what you're saying.
I think we need.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we need to add them.
They were plot driven, so I think it's disingenuous if I don't. Speaking of disingenuous if I don't, that's a terrible segue. But Friday, December 8th at 8 p.m., we have magic in Mistletoe. Harrington, a lot of Harry Potterishness, even Harrington. Harrington is the author of a popular book series, but commercial success has left him a bitter recluse. As he returns to his hometown for an annual Christmas festival celebrating his books, he's joined by April, a publicist for the major publishing house he works with. April is there for damage control after Harrington's recent comments on social media have ruffled some feathers. But as she gets to know him better, hope springs that April can unlock Harrington's guarded heart and help him rediscover the spirit of the holiday.
Oh.
Directed by Paula L., who directed In Merry Measure and The Christmas Contest, and written by Sky Blair, who has written the TV movie Curves, and that is their only credit. Starring Lindy Greenwood from Holiday Heritage and the Sleepy Hollow series, and of course, friend of the show, he's been on before, Paul Campbell as Harrington.
Paul Campbell.
From The Wise Baby and The Santa Stick.
I like that Sleepy Hollow series, but anyway, I digress.
I did too, and I did too, and I for the life of me couldn't remember why I recognized that woman.
I know, yeah.
And
so we got Kevin. Thank you, Kevin. Thank you.
You got it. Yeah, it's like 35 episodes or something like that. So I will say, man, Paul Campbell, I felt like in this movie something worked against him, which is we're supposed to kind of not like him, and his charm it shines through so much that even in those awkward moments when you're not supposed to like him in the beginning, he's such a likable dude.
I know. He's too nice.
It's funny going back to Never Been Kissed with I felt Tyler Hynes did a good job of kind of playing a little bit not creepy, but like that idea of I don't know if this guy's on the level or not,
right?
And whereas Paul Campbell sent this tweet, and I'm like, yeah, I'm all right with that. That's fine, dude. I'm with you.
Yeah, cool. I get it. The holidays are the worst.
Yeah,
like I was never against him, and I think we were because he even said somewhere in an interview, he was like, I think this is the meanest or like douchiest I've ever been in the top of a movie, like in Hallmark, and I was like, oh, I'm ready for this. And
he was a bad guy in Christmas by Starlight. He was the bad guy, if you remember. And that's where you and I fell in love with this dude. I can't speak. Oh my God. Where he was kind of the bad guy because he's supposed to like absorb the diner. And very quickly we're like, I like this guy a lot. It's just like when you've got charm, you can't turn it off. One thing I will note, I don't know if anyone else was a My So-Called Life fan as much as I was in my youth, but I'm going to quote Angela Chase by saying that he leans good. There were so many moments where Paul Campbell was just like leaning his tall drink of waterness, like against things. Wow. And I just was like, oh my God, he leans good. Who was Angela referring to? Krakauer? Does Krakauer?
No! To Jared Leto's character, Jordan Catalano.
I hate Jared Leto. I don't care.
Whoa! Wow! Hot take, everybody! Hot take.
Yeah, that's not a hot take. That's
I mean, a hot take from you, like right now. I mean,
yeah.
John is on the show.
Hey, we have a guest star, everybody.
John, hop in there.
John is on the show, but John is only on the show because he wants this.
You had to get
Understood.
make him
He
come
kept
on
just like
screen.
looking at me, and I was like, you want to be on the show? And he's like, no, I want what's behind you.
No, he heard me talking crap on Jared Leto, and he's like, I agree.
He's like, I have opinions. I have deep opinions.
I loved all of the friends in this movie, and I think that helped. The character almost immediately, and maybe that was part of it. He was so likable because his friends were so likable and defensive.
These nice people back in his hometown are not gonna like a total dick. You know?
Yeah. And we find very quickly that all of the characters that he has created are based on these real people in his life. His Hermione and his Ron, if you will. But we also find out, much like Harry Potter.
Yeah, good. All right, I see where you're going with this. It's dead. What a segue. That might be your best segue. I'm going to give a 10.
10 to the segue.
An atrio to Kevin's segue right there.
Thank you.
Ooh.
That was good.
Yeah. So he lost both his parents in a very short amount of time, which obviously took a great toll on, his feelings towards the holidays. And,
I think though, like I get it, but I feel like the overreaction to the decorations was, I didn't need it because it was even like his friends that did it with her.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm just tired of I get it. Guys, we watch these movies because we know what they're going to be about. But I'm so tired of these ridiculous overreactions to either that sort of thing or news. It's like, can we react like humans, please? Once in these movies?
It's funny though, because her reaction to him, she felt bad about that, about the decorations. But when he was still being a bit of a prickly pear towards her early on, when they first came to town, she said to him, look, man, I could be sitting on a couch with my mom right now, and I'm here babysitting you. Yeah, and she was not kind about it, nor should she have been. Mike, I knew you would have to go back to the last episode to grab this. It's just occurring to me now. I didn't put it in here. The reason she would be with her mom and not her dad, though, is because she also is Sans dad this Christmas.
Sans dad.
One of my favorite Christmas movies.
Another one. That'd be I'd watch that.
Sans dad.
Sans dad. Woo!
Wait, so I'm actually confused. So we did 42 plus 43, 44 for both, right? And this is 45?
This would be 45 now.
45.
Yeah.
All right.
So, but we know that her dad was a big fan of his writing, and read it and came out of his office when she was 15 and said, I just read a book. And I'm like, wait a minute. Whoa, creepy, weird. She was 15, but then she went to say this 17-year-old writer, and I was like,
they were only 3 years apart. Hallmark loves 3.
Yes,
your wife died. Wait 3 years.
Kristin, it's the Holy Trinity. It's what they do. This one again, the trailer not so much, but if you were watching movies last week and they do the sneak preview in the first, we call it our chunk. In the first chunk, they go to commercial, but the commercial is just a sneak preview for the next week. They showed a sneak preview that they edited the crap out of it. I'm so grateful they did, because when I saw it, I told Kristin, holy crap, I think we're going to get the movie. Yeah. That scene right there where they jump into the caravan and because fans swarm them. It was so piss poorly cut in the preview, in not the actual episode.
Yeah.
I
feel like they even took out some sound during the edited version, and I was like, what are we?
I think they put the bike crash from the last episode into it too, just to give some drama, give some more drama.
So something that's the interesting thing is, you know how normally a boss in these movies is like the baddie?
Yeah.
Her boss was awesome.
Yeah.
She never was like, she was like, okay, you have to do this at Christmas. Sorry. But she was like, no, I get it. It's part of my job. But then you know, we never had to be like that phone call of like, if you don't do this, you're gonna lose your job. And then she showed up to the town and she was like, oh my God, I'm so excited. Like that was refreshing for me.
They did do the thing where like they gave him an email of what to read, and he goes, well, I'm a writer, I can do it myself. So when he gets up and starts to speak off the cuff, the publishing president is like, what's he doing? We emailed him, and it's like, really? Come on.
Yeah.
But beyond that, I agree with you. I also like that they didn't do it because she's a female, and I'm tired of them having like the shrew boss. If you want to have the Ebenezer Scrooge boss, then make it a dude. But I agree with you, Chris. I thought that was a really nice touch to not do that. There was no need. Same thing with the mayor. When we first meet the mayor of the town. Yeah. It was like, oh, is she going to throw like a wrench in all this? And she didn't. She loved him. She knew his parents and was very much like on their side. So,
well, I think that was what was interesting is like, obviously these people, he started getting jaded by what you thought at the start was fame. Yeah. But really, it was because he lost his parents and he started realizing, wait, all of these people are sharing this story with me when I don't have my parents. You know what? Like, I liked his angle of why that tweet started in the first place. Yeah. Better than him being like, I'm tired of being famous.
Right.
Because it wasn't about that.
There he is there with that sweet, sweet beard.
Why is that hot? Like, come on.
It is though, right? There's the mayor too with him. I like that too, Chris. I like that when he talked to fans, he never talked down to them. A lot of them were younger kids, and like the one asking about the Christmas fairy, and he said, you know, what do you think? And it was really cool, and you could see like he clearly still likes who he is as a writer and what he's doing. Yeah. And the reaction from his audience, that still matters to him, obviously. So,
it was just all like, because that town and everything in it was in those books. And now the world shares that with him. But like going back to it all, he never wanted to go back to it because it's going to be different for him now because his parents aren't there. And I totally like, you stay away from that kind of hurtful change. Yeah. So I don't know. I never hated it.
How about April in her? Do you still have that, Mike?
Yeah, I do.
Tweet this year.
Oh my God, stunning!
It is very comical, and they didn't necessarily. But look at that!
Look at that so look of love. He looks like Jason Kelsey looking at football.
What a good podcast.
You must mean Travis. Nobody cares about Jason Kelsey. You must be.
Mike was a Giants fan.
No, I'm a Swiftie, and how dare you mention the other brother?
I'm also a Swiftie, and I'm a Eagles fan. By the way, we played the Giants twice coming up, so we'll be fine. The Eagles will be fine.
Cool. DeVito. All right. Anyway, continue.
That's all.
Convince me, Kevin and Kristin. I didn't see this one because again, my recording got messed up. I already watched 2 other ones today to catch up. To convince me, I should watch this, or what do you think?
I would rather you go back in time and watch Christmas at Starlight.
Great movie. I agree with that. This was
Paul
fine.
Campbell.
Yeah.
This is not one you need to search out, Mike. That's actually a great way to look at it. But it's definitely I'm not trashing it because I did enjoy it and I didn't think I would.
I like it.
This is a fold your clothes movie. You're okay to step out for a minute or two and not have to, So this puts us at a body count of 45 this week.
45.
2 more movies. Did we break 50?
Let's see what happens. If we hit 49, that's both Die Hard and Lethal Weapon combined. We'll see what happens.
We're close.
Then we have on Saturday, December 9th at 8 o'clock, Christmas on Cherry Tree Lane. A young couple preparing to welcome their first child, an empty nester and her fiance ready to start a new chapter, and a couple who unexpectedly have the chance to expand their family on Christmas Eve, celebrate the holiday as they navigate these turning points in their lives. Directed by Gail Harvey, also a big director on Virgin River. Written by Rick Garman, who wrote Christmas at Castle Hart, and starring Catherine Bell, Jonathan Bennett, John Brotherton, Aaron Cahill, James Denton, and Vincent Rodriguez the Third.
They're on the stairway there, everybody. We don't have a picture.
They're all there. Chris, hit us.
Yo.
Thoughts.
Listen.
We can talk about that too. I thought that's where you were immediately going.
No,
let's do that.
We will.
Let's do. Yeah, let's do it. Yeah.
So I love a sneak attack like this, right?
I know.
But I love that it was only 25
first
minutes
chunk.
in.
It was in the first chunk. It was in the first chunk. Because I watched it today.
Then we got to enjoy the reveal. I would have been a little TO'd if it was like the last 10 minutes we learned this, right?
I agree.
So I like.
Let's spoil it for our fans. What are you talking about?
Spoilers incoming. This wasn't a whole bunch of people living on Cherry Lane. It was every 20 years. It was three people that lived in the same house.
So there's one.
So we have the 70s.
It was 7. It wasn't every 20 years because it was
about-ish, yeah.
Yeah, and then 20. So, and here are the different. There you go. The
different 90s
different,
and then 2023. Yeah.
So there was a moment where they talked about 7 Cherry Lane, and then this scene happened where John Brotherton comes outside.
Yeah.
And Julie and I were watching it together, and I was like, "Wait a second." And I rewound it.
And then they showed this, and then they showed their fancy number 7.
Not making sense here. And then I was like, "Holy crap! This is all different timelines." And then it did the, what was it? It was 1973, 2003, and then 2023. And I was like, "Oh my god!" I started crying immediately.
90 something, yeah.
There was also, I love that Kevin was crying in my.
I was
alone at 2 a.m. watching these movies.
No, not this one. Julie and I watched it regular time.
Oh, okay.
This one, I will say, what really affected me, and we're going to kind of get to this and come back. So this is not a spoiler, but it might seem like it at first. I love John Brotherton. I love him. I have issues with some of his co-stars over the years, but I love him. On Fuller House, he was awesome. In various movies, he's awesome. So there's a plot point that's happening, and I'm like, oh my god, he's dead. And I was so sad because it's so early in the movie, and I'm like,
he was dead too.
He's dead. He's gonna be dead. And it was really affected me until Conrad talks about his car, and the timing wasn't working out. And I was like, wait, hold on a second. I was like, there's no way in hell that's his dad. And we will get to some twists in a minute where
I wish I would have sent this to Mike to use, but just envision that gif of Charlie Day from It's Always Sunny, where he's like, like pointing at like
we got that that's coming up though in the next one. I'll say that.
And in fairness, I feel like that is every Hallmark movie I watch. I feel like that. I'm like, what?
Well, the thing that I thought was really cool was what they did with that actress that got to be in all 3 timelines, essentially.
Yes.
That was really cool.
Yeah. I had one thing that I kind of wanted to happen, although I'm okay with how I wanted her to be a nursing or a med student and her to deliver the baby. Like that was the one thing I was like, because then she's so connected.
She was a little. It was a cool plot, but it was a little underserved as a character. She could have been more,
100%.
Especially once they started connecting everything. And it was like the dad's the cop who delivered the baby, who's the uncle, who's actually the kid that was adopted. You're like, well, why not have everybody really intertwined here?
She could have, Well, that's the one thing I thought was weird was that So then when John Brotherton and Aaron Cahill and their baby moved out, the cop moved in, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Correct.
Which you knew they called him at one point. He was using the same name, John, which is always confusing to me when an actor and character are the same name. But they said something about John Hamilton, and we had already seen in the one timeline where Conrad said Uncle Ham. Yeah. And when we met Aaron Cahill's brother, his name was Ben or something like that, and I was like, wait,
you're like, well, who is Uncle Ham?
And then I realized, it's Hamilton, but that's his dad. That's not his dad. And then it turned out
I was so confused because they're like, that's because our dad loved Uncle Ham and knew how much Uncle Ham loved that car. And I was like, Where are we?
There were so the plot plops go Shyamalan crazy towards the end.
They do. They
Because
do.
even the storyline with Jonathan Bennett and Vincent Rodriguez's characters, which was a beautiful. The thing I will say is each one of these stories could have stood alone as their own story. And I'm not saying it suffered. It's just you could have fleshed it out a lot more. This was we find out Zane is his character's name, and he was adopted. And very similar to the situation they're experiencing where they're going to adopt, or they're going to foster. I'm sorry. He was adopted, but he was fostered. And on Christmas Eve, and they're going to foster a kid, and the kid is coming on Christmas Eve. That when they got to that parallel, because they had already done all these coincidental things, I was like, this is Shyamalan type stuff. And it was really confusing.
It was a wild ride to sit there and be like, wait a minute. Like, this one could have been on the Movies and Mysteries channel.
Yeah, this should have definitely been a Movies and Mysteries.
Yeah. The plot was mysterious. But again, I did really enjoy it because I'm actually really glad they were on because the preview again made it. I know that they didn't want to spoil that there were different timelines, but it made it seem like it was just going to be like a bunch of annoying people like getting together. Like,
wasn't even
close.
Wasn't even close. It didn't do it justice. Again, like you said, it didn't really lead us as the viewer to be like, oh, that looks enjoyable.
Right.
I agree with everyone. The payoff was great. I didn't cry in the first 20, but I cried in the last 20, Kevin, because I thought actually the payoff was really beautiful. Not even everything, just sort of everybody enjoying like Christmas dinner. It's the most sort of Christmassy I've felt like as a family as far this season. Just
nostalgia.
Because it's the nostalgia. It's the home is a beautiful like sentiment like that hasn't been like always. And but the middle was just messy for me. I was actually finding myself kind of tuning out once I knew the gimmick, right? Which was it's the same house. Yeah. The stories I sort of was like, and like some of the characters annoy me a little with their choices with their family and stuff. But then the payoff was really nice. I thought it was a great idea. I would like to see another take on this. But the ending was really great.
Let us not forget though. Regardless of whether it was John Brotherton or we ultimately find out it's his friend who's the cop, we do have, in fact, a dead dad.
Yeah, there's a dead dad. This one's confusing.
It is.
This one's confusing.
Yeah.
I gotta wait for the alarm to stop, but it does count to the total. And we also know that Zane's parents died. Therefore, having another, you don't need to bring it up, but dead parents alert. So similar to the last one, that's 3 more.
Wait, sorry, you don't want me to bring it up? You don't want me to do it?
That brings us up to a total of 48.
Oh my gosh, Zane's parents.
Is that right? Did I do that math right? Let me double check. Yes, I did.
I just don't know about counting Zane's parents. Comment below if you think we should count Zane's parents. Somehow.
Here's interesting because I forget who it was, but someone on Instagram was like, I don't think you should have counted that person, but then you counted the other person and it evened out your math.
It was
and I was like,
oh man, I forget who said it too right now. I don't have these notes. But when we talked about the Biltmore, Christopher, say his name correctly, Chris. You say it right. I always say it
Christopher
wrong.
Paloha.
Paloha, that's it. I say Palala. I put 2 L's in there. Christopher Paloha doesn't die. I don't think we added it in, but they wanted us to deduct one off. So I'm not opposed to doing that in the end. But
no, but I think whoever it was like, I think you fixed it by doing. I don't know. So I'm just really happy that our friends are invested in this as much as we are.
just like you should invest in an official ornament from Hallmark.
This is crazy how much this was like product placement. And I said that to Julie. I said, no wonder Balsam Hill's not been on this year. They were doing a lot of their own, but like this one went through the years. I mean, there's your 50 and there's your established. So that's why the timeline was wonky. Because we went from 73, which you had to do to get to 50, and that's why it was 30 years, and then the 20.
Should have been one more. Yeah, there should have been one more family. Hallmark.
Yeah.
Well, but there was also that other ornament that kept getting passed, but then it didn't get passed a third time.
No,
So
it
I
was
was like,
there. It was on their tree. It was on Jonathan Bennett's. It was
oh,
on their
okay.
tree. I
I
thought
guess
that theirs
Zane-
was a little weirdly removed because it was even
Yeah.
the restaurant part was fine, but a little cheesy
But
that
I
they
would
took
have
over the like
wanted to know how
garage.
that happened.
Yeah,
They
exactly,
didn't
exactly,
describe
exactly.
like the sister became a singer, so therefore she turned the
Yeah.
auto body shop into a restaurant.
Yeah, just for pairs, which is actually kind of a cool concept. But yeah.
Yeah.
But you also don't know what Conrad did. Like he just
So
kind of,
true.
so maybe he was instrumental in that. I don't know.
Yeah,
I will
don't
bad.
know.
Good idea. Good idea. A little shaky.
A little,
When
little
they showed-
wonky.
When they showed the tree in 2023, it was horribly decorated. And I said to my wife, and I don't mean any disrespect, so I apologize if it
Tree
comes
is
off
very
sound
nice.
that way.
The tree behind you is very nice, Kevin.
That Julie does all that.
Yeah.
But I said, I don't believe two gay men decorated this tree because it looked like crap. And some art direction went into that, and I do apologize. But I think, Chris, that might be a good segue to move into how'd you spend your week, Chris?
I spent my week.
Why are you in these stupid groups still?
Because I post our videos, Kevin.
Oh,
Those people aren't watching this.
they're not.
I spent my entire weekend because this movie came out, and oh my god, the gays, the homophobes were out, folks. So my favorite thing that they do is that someone will be like, "Oh, I watched Cherry, Blaine, blah blah blah, I love blah blah blah," and then they just write, "Nope." So
Yeah, right.
That's
Yeah.
the new nope.
Yeah.
Because before last year it was not for me. So this year
That was too many
new
words.
homophobic
They
response
shortened it.
is
Well, they've
just
gotten older,
nope.
Kristin. They don't have as many years left. So they have to shorten it. Brevity is important at this
Maybe
point.
we should have a nope count.
We should have a nope count in these because get ready, homophobes. None of them watch our show, but there's a lesbian couple this weekend.
Yeah.
What?
Do you want to know what I find awesome? And I think it's what scares them the most is, and Hallmark has done a great job. And and I'll say it, we've not said, but it's the thing that when Candace Cameron Bure left Hallmark, I was like, good, leave. Because I like that Hallmark is normalizing reality. Reality. And I will say this, I know we do tend to have a little bit more of a progressive audience. Maybe there's some people that are like, oh, I like your takes on stuff, but I think you guys are wrong on, and that's fine, whatever. But I will say this, you 100% in your life, whether you know it or not, you have LGBTQ people in your life. And if you're like, no, I don't, yes, you do, but they don't want to talk to you about it. That's the reality of this world.
Here's the thing, Kevin, that one woman that I was fighting with this weekend didn't deny it. She said, I have a gay friend.
I read all of it, Chris. Why do you do this
but
to
they don't flaunt it.
Yeah.
What? I'm just bamboozled. And it's really fun for me because I will fight.
But I bet her gay friend decorates a nicer tree. I'm just going to say.
Much a better trade.
Yeah.
I liked how.
A thumbs up.
Yeah, it was decent.
It's good. It's decent. It's got it's very plot ploppy, this movie, but and probably not incredibly rewatchable because you'll start to see a lot of the holes. But
I think so. Yeah, one and done.
To your point, Chris, I think, and Kevin, I thought that as silly and goofily written as the repairman was, or the home remodeler, or what he had such a nice he had such a nice statement to our lovely gay couple. You know what I mean? Of just, I don't have kids, but I know that you would both do an amazing job because I had great parents. And so that was just, I thought that was a beautiful moment because again, they didn't shoehorn it. It was a reactive moment from a good human being. And
I feel like that sweet guy just wants to hang out with this gay couple all the time.
So good.
You know what he doesn't do?
He took so long on the repairs. He was like,
he doesn't write nope. He doesn't write nope.
He doesn't write nope. He's never written not for me. He's please invite me over all the time.
It was great.
So that
one more
to our final movie of the night.
Kevin, we actually already talked about this movie. We reviewed it, but I thought we could have done a better job. So I spun the dreidel, and here we are. One more time. So do a better
We
job.
are into Sunday, December 10th. Once again, you guys remember me talking about this at 8 p.m. Round and round. Rachel stuck in a time loop, reliving the night of her parents' Hanukkah party. Can Zach, the nice boy grandma's trying to set her up with, help her make it to tomorrow? This is
the best movie of the season. Just saying.
Direct-
sorry.
I'm supposed to, are we?
We'll get to it. We'll get to it.
Oh, sorry.
You know what? I don't have the person's first name, but something Harding is the director. They directed Christmas Sale. By the way, I went to a Christmas boat parade when I was in Florida. Yeah, I'm going to send you pictures, Kristin.
I'm so happy for you.
It was amazing. It was. I meant to message you while I was there,
Oh
but
my
I was
gosh.
petrified my phone would fall into the water the whole time. Written by Tamara Laddie, who wrote Crashing Through the Snow, and starring Vic Michaelis, I believe is how you say her name, who, quite frankly, has not done a whole lot. Like her credits. Thank you, Nancy. That's it, Nancy. Sorry. Stacey Yen Harding.
Stacey.
Yeah. So Vic Michaelis has not done a whole lot, but she is amazing. And then Brian Greenberg, also not a ton of credits to his name. So like, I really, really expect to see both of these guys a lot more. Couple things. One, no dead people.
Dead people.
There's no dead people. There's a reference to his grandfather, but I was like, that's so like it's referenced so late. I was like, I'm not counting that.
It's not affecting them in the moment.
No. And how amazing is it to show our cards that the best movie in the entire countdown to Christmas lineup is the Hanukkah movie.
Yeah, Adrian has said it every year that I've forced her to start watching these. She's like, the Hanukkah ones are always the best ones.
They're good, but this one was
it was so
excellent.
It was so good. It was so good.
So
I think it's because
I have no notes.
No.
Let's just put up a picture of these delicious donuts, because let's be honest, that was
that's my note. I actually have two notes. My one note is, yo, don't do that to all them donuts. That's not cool.
Yeah.
My one note is that I believe it's about the second night, there's a montage that happens way too early.
Yeah.
And it felt like it was happening because, and they referenced.
I was out of it. I actually checked out right after that montage. I was like,
it was like the coats, right, Mike, where they're all putting the
coats on. It was too early, and then too much had progressed, and I was like, whoa, this is supposed to be the part that we see the development. Again, we're all referencing Groundhog's Day and other like similar like time travel like repeat movies. Finish your thought. I just wanted to.
You're right there with me. That was my thought. Was like, this is early for this. I don't mind a reference to Groundhog Day when you have a storyline that's similar to it. Like there's Happy Death Day, which I really love that series. There have been two so far. I'm hoping for a third. They're dumb, but they're fun. This one could have fallen down the hole of it's too much about that, but things start happening where everyone becomes knowledgeable of it. And I was like, this is a totally different take on this, man.
It was
and
I loved that honestly, if someone came to any one of the three of us and said this to us, we would be like, yeah, let's go. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think you just have to find the right nerd. And the moment, because the dude in the van said it, he was like, I've seen Terminator. I'm not going to deny a woman from the future.
Yeah, I'm not messing with Skynet. I loved all of the references. Yeah.
Oh my God.
It was so good.
Just,
I actually said that to Adrian. I was like, if you came back in time and said to me, hey, we've been reliving this. As a sci-fi nerd, I would be very easily convinced. I would be with those guys. I'm like, done. This is sick. Let's do this. What do we have to do? Yeah. What do we have to do?
Great writing to have them go to the comic store, bring the comic nerds, and they use the term nerds. He's got his D&D dice. Like there's so much like geekdom happening within this film. First of all, she is quirky and gorgeous and awesome, and the part where Zach turns around and she's right there in his face is so freaking awesome.
So
I'm apprehensive to talk more about this because anybody who's not watched it, I don't necessarily want to spoil things because it's such a good movie and the information unfolds in such a great way.
it's so good.
It was. I kept telling Nair, I'm like, this is a sci-fi movie. This isn't even a like Hallmark movie.
Yeah.
There was a great time travel movie called Primer, and I don't want to get too like nerdy and deep, but watch it if you want to just be tripped out. But it was the same kind of thing where they were progressing in time the whole way, and you were getting subtle nods that like, oh, they keep looping back, and it's this brilliant. And I'm like, this is the same concept, and they're doing a great job. And my only part of annoyance was the beginning, like you said, Kevin, when they did the montage. I'm like, oh, they wasted the montage too early. This is going to be annoying that if they're just stuck in one timeline for the last hour and a half of the movie. But it wasn't. They kept going back, and they didn't even show it. It was a sci-fi.
I think it would have been more earned that it wasn't like that moment in time wasn't the montage, but the moment in time that was the montage was them like mapping it out in the comic book store over and over again. Do you know what I mean? Like, and because I think we're all obviously Loki fans, but like he had to do that in like in that final season of getting. He was just like
centuries he had to live, and I think that was kind of the beauty to this too. Is they reference the number, and it's like 12,000. There's a number that people attribute to Groundhog Day. How many times Bill Murray had to live? It was like it was basically 34 years that he had to go through this. It was like 12,933 days or something, some number like that. And the fact that the nerds in the comic store know that and talk about it, her thing obviously coincides with the 8 nights of Hanukkah, and it's 7 nights essentially to get it right for that last night. The dreidel, again, like I'm very apprehensive to give.
I think you could say the dreidel's magical, and there's some time travel because I still don't think that gives away the way that they did it. Like I think and that was my favorite part of it. Sort of the production and the writing behind it.
Well, there's just also
oh man, it's good.
There's also the shock at the end too of.
I loved it. I mean, we typically give spoilers. I guess we can talk about it.
But I think we should because I don't think anyone's listening that doesn't. But I loved that I'll spoil it, that every single one in their family, the sister found her wife, the dad met. So here's something funny. Do you have a picture of the dad at all? If you have one, Mike. So I'm a huge horror movie fan.
Great.
But he's from the movie Hostel and plays like this rich dude that pays to torture people. So that is all I see when I see this man.
Well, and he's in Thanksgiving too.
Is he? He's so sweet and charming in this, and such a dad telling dad jokes. Dr. Dreidel.
That's why they put him in horror movies because he still plays like that, but then ends up being But that was like. That threw me for a loop when he got on the screen. I was like, what do we do? What is this? Who's going to wait? Also, do we have a picture of our queen? Our queen.
We do.
All hail the queen, the Paula Shaw. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Very good.
Wonderful.
And this is literally the moment where she is essentially owning up to the fact that, it's magical. Spin it one more time. Yeah. She's like, wait, what? And she's like, you gotta spin it one more time. That moment though, so I was under the impression that the daughter, that Rachel's mother was Paula Shaw's daughter, but the father was the son, which made more sense because he comes in, since we're doing spoilers, it was like the moment that I just adored. He comes into her room on the 8th day when she is back into out of the time loop. And he picks up the dreidel. She goes, no, don't spin it. And he goes, well, it doesn't work after the 7th night. And she's like, what?
I was like, what?
I know. That was when
that's your
it was exactly that was the scene, like the mid-credit scene or the scene after the trailer that you wait for.
Because
you know what I mean?
That's also why I want to go back and watch it again. They know
it's a thing. Oh yeah.
Because if I go back and watch it again, I want to watch the dad and the sister react to
the sister. Her. I had a problem with because she tells her sister, and her sister blows her off and leaves. And I was like, when
I guess you're right.
I would watch it.
Sure, boy. Everybody can hear us, so he's
he's
an overlay right now. But yeah.
Oh, there he is. That man's
So
a
good.
murderer.
of hearts.
Of hearts.
I also really appreciate it because it's one of the things about these journeys, and it's still one little thing that bothers me about Groundhog Day is that, yes, he went on this journey for 34 years and she went on it for 7 nights, but the love interest did not. And that always bothers me. And the fact that when she handed, like, it works out in this movie with the D&D dice box and the dreidel, and Mike, I almost think that was why the montage that we saw came when it came in the beginning of the movie, so that the montage in that moment wasn't overpowered or wasn't underwhelming.
I honestly think somebody came in and was like, people are going to be lost and confused by this. Like, we need to do something to catch them. So they did that. And it actually like understood, because I think the script was brilliant without, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they could have subtly played it as, but yeah, I agree. Them teaching like and there were some like timeline things, obviously, right? Like, it wasn't perfect, but like if you really went back, and I think if you watch it too many times, you'd be like, wait a minute. But I thought it was brilliant, just her not getting to the party certain nights, and you're like, oh yeah, because she's working on this, like what she's going to do next. And then for her to teach him every moment, like, hey, I know you have D&D dice in your pocket. I know you believe in this sci-fi theory. Like, I'm going to tell you that we're really in love. I don't know. It was like, I thought it was cool.
Your underwear. You have black underwear with purple.
Yeah, black underwear with purple. Yeah.
Yeah,
one of my
so you're right. Everyone being in on it was so good.
Yeah.
One of my favorite episodes of Supernatural is when Dean dies every day, and Sam wakes up and he has to explain to him. And it's so funny because Dean is such I love watching the explanation of like, okay, this is what's going to happen. You're going to do this. I have to do this. I catch this bottle of ketchup that's going to fall. Like, Good obsessed. Also, 2 things, really important things. Yeah. 1, the cousin revealing that she doesn't have a British accent and just is from Jersey. Phenomenal.
Yeah.
Number 2 is the cousin and the friend were discussing a female Avenger. Who were they talking about?
I think it was Storm. I could be wrong, but it felt like they were talking about Storm.
Oh, okay.
But it definitely felt like that was all ad-libbed,
Yeah, I did too, because I was like, wait, can they keep talking about this? Because what are we talking about?
Yeah, I love them that they get together, and then she even says you get together in every timeline. So
and the guy's like,
watch again a couple of times.
Without a doubt, this one is the most rewatchable. It is not just this year. This might be my favorite Hallmark film they've ever made
of the all time.
Please. This is the stuff where I always bring up is like, embrace the like weirdness and the magical of whatever you're like. You're making hundreds of these things. Like, have fun with it. This one had so much fun and was dead serious on their sci-fi timeline plot line, which worked great. Yeah. I forgot it was a Hanukkah movie. I mean, I don't even know. Yeah, but happy Hanukkah, everybody.
Happy Hanukkah, everyone.
8th night as this comes out.
Everybody, Sam and Dean are pretty sexy, aren't they, Kristin?
Did you want me to talk about them for a good 5.5 days?
No, we don't have time, but you could set up our next
you were thank you for that segue into talking about hot dudes.
Master, we will be talking about some Hunk's Objectification age 3.
Oh, we've got some hot dudes this week.
Dang, I will say this is the most excited you've been getting into the second.
Cool. I mean, it was like across the
some
board.
high scores.
Across the board.
Well, I don't want to throw you off, but here's picture number 1.
Where?
Okay.
There's a Charlie Day quality happening over there.
Where has he been my entire life? Like, what are we doing? This man, I didn't know I needed him, and now I need him. So I forget what his name is. Let me turn my page.
I'm going to call him Mark Gahaname because I think that's how you say it.
Here's the thing. I adored this man from start to finish. He was never a jerk. He was never
a jerk.
Oh my God. And also, he wore clothes that really did it for me. Because I normally don't like a leather jacket too much, but his was like that soft motorbike one. He also has the most gorgeous eyes, the
Yeah, look at
most
that.
precious whispers of gray throughout his beard and his hair, just like my two fine friends here do. He's really pretty. I think I Googled him. He might play for the other team, but I'm okay with that because we could still hang out and I could still stare into his face.
Yeah.
I would like to remind everyone that we rate these boys a 1 out of 10 heinies, 10 being the highest heiny regard because Tyler Hynes is a heiny.
Yeah.
So I'm giving this newcomer a very high score because I didn't prepare my uterus.
Oh,
And it
shocked
me.
you. Yeah.
It shocked me.
You did text us live. You texted us live when you saw him and you said he #smashed your place.
He smashed my place. He gets a 9.
Whoa, nice.
Shocking.
Not that shocking. Not that shocking.
I'll go
Kevin?
quick here and then I'll save it for you, Kev. Yeah, 8.7. He was super handsome. He wore the denim and the leather well.
Yeah.
And he did, again, we put the character into play in this. He was just nice. He had no issues. He was super nice. He fell in when she said, "Will you just kiss me right now?" I thought it was actually one of the best kisses of this season. I thought it felt very natural. Like she was feeling emotions, he was feeling emotions, and it wasn't just like we're under a mistletoe. So anyway, 8.7.
Nice.
Yeah,
nice.
I agree that he was great. He, obviously came from a place of darkness. I liked his cousin saying he's laughing again. We only saw that side of him, which is really cool. That that's the story is told. Obviously, in the past, but we only saw that light back in his eyes and such. He was deeply into her from the beginning. Sure, there was like that Florence Nightingale effect, but really dug her and was mostly honest with her. Just withheld a little information before finally giving it up. I am also an 8.7, but I have a 5 on the end of mine. 8.75.
Oh.
Wow, you're an annoying person.
I did take it out further.
All right.
Next up, we have friend of the show.
Yeah.
The most tallest drinks of water.
Yeah.
This is Paul Campbell, everyone. We were supposed to hate him, but I loved him from the top.
Yeah.
Here's something funny. The picture on your left, I believe, will be natural Paul Campbell smiling, how he does his hair. I think the part on the side was this very silly choice, which made me, for some reason, find it even more attractive because I was like, that's the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my life. He gets an 8.7.
Whoa! Very nice. Very nice.
I love Paul Campbell. His legs, I want to climb them.
Yeah. Kev, we need to get that quote on somewhere. Kev, I'm an NA. This is the one that didn't record for me, so I'm an NA on this one. But we love Paul Campbell. So give us your.
I do love him. This character was one I loved the least of all the characters he's played over the many years. Still dug him. The Christmas lights and decorations and stuff definitely hit hard. Where it was like, all right, dude, come chill it out. So I still feel like I'm pretty high up there, but I on this one am 1 full point below Kristin at a 7.
Yeah, that feels right. That feels like the score I maybe would have gave if I saw the movie, which I will.
That's fair.
All right.
This
is unfair. This next one is unfair. I'm already calling.
This is very listen. This
I can see this
because
no,
there's
I saw
so
this 100%.
many. So many hot dudes in this movie. I'm taking this moment of H3O to just discuss that these two men are the same person, right?
Well, this isn't even the closest photo that he looked like Harbor the entire time.
Yeah.
Oh
and
my
acted
God.
like
When he acted like him, I feel so I don't even know because I didn't want to rate Jonathan Bennett. I didn't want to rate Vince. Like there were too many whatevers. Yeah. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to rate John Brotherton on, I'm going to give him an 8 for how wonderful of a David Harbour impersonation he did.
Can I tell you also a Tom Everett Scott impersonation? If you know Tom Everett Scott, there was a quality of shades from that thing you do. Chris, I have him as an 8 as well. I loved him. I thought he was an excellent husband. Ivy, that was one issue I had with this movie is his daughter later refers to him, and there was some weird difficulty, but we never quite got what that was. And I was
don't know what it was.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I'm an 8 as well.
Great.
Y'all, Harper does it for me. Hopper does it for me. I think this guy had similar. I hate to say he's exactly this actor. This guy's his own person too.
Yeah.
But he was so similarly likable in his delivery and sort of his care for his wife and his hatred / ultimate love of his extended family. I thought he was my favorite of the week. 8.9, everybody. 8.9.
Yeah. Go back and watch Lights, Camera, Christmas. He was excellent.
Yeah, he was really good in that.
Yeah.
Now our final.
Oh my!
I don't know.
Oh my gosh!
Can I tell you?
Is he on Bachelor in Paradise?
Listen, if he looked like Grant coming out of the water in this movie, my number would have been much higher. And I loved him. But
listen.
Yeah.
I Googled this man so hard. So I found out that he is in
Smash Plates?
The
you got
movie.
some Smash Plates?
He smashed my plates. And then I put them back together and he smashed them again.
Whoa.
But I looked this dude up. He was in The Perfect Score with Scarlett Johansson and Chris Evans back in the day.
Yeah.
And it amazed me. Anyway, this man came out of my dreams. Hallmark said, Kristin deserves this. Kristin deserves this year. She's been a very good girl. We're going to create a character that likes comic book stores, would believe in time travel.
Oh my God, this is going high. Watch out, Heidi. This is going high.
Can't handle it. Listen, Tyler Hines.
This is where we need to put you. This is where you get the spotlight here.
Tyler Hines, you understand how much my uterus and I love you, but this man is coming for you.
Whoa!
Kevin, turn off your camera for a second. We need this to be a personal moment between the two.
What I just want to talk to this Brian about is, Brian, thank you for being in this movie and putting the jingle and jangle back in my loins. I give this man a 10,000.
Whoa, 10,000! Oh my God, you can come back up. Yeah, that is huge.
Wow.
I would marry this man.
Yeah.
Yeah. The actor is married to the most gorgeous woman, and they have twin babies.
John, come back. Come back.
He took the whole bottle with him.
Yeah, he knew. Yeah.
All right, that was great. That's the clip right there. That's the YouTube short. All right, Kevin. I don't even know if our scores matter.
No, and I, I'm not nearly. I liked him a lot, but I didn't find him as heartthrobby, and I love that you did, Chris. I do. I love that you did. I liked him, and maybe it's because I was so enamored by Rachel and just her quirkiness and stuff. And again, I make the argument, there's the whole bit am I Andy McDowell? No, you're, am I the groundhog? No, I'm the groundhog. I'm Bill Murray on everything. He was the Andy McDowell, and that's not, to crap on Andy McDowell. It's just, it's almost a vehicle for everything that's happening. So maybe I'll, on a rewatch, perhaps my number will come up. But in honor of when we're recording this being the 7th night of Hanukkah, I gave him a 7.
7? That's a little.
Whoa!
That was a lot.
I will move up for Kristin. And because this comes out on the 8th night of Hanukkah, I will move up to an 8. I will.
Yeah. I look, Kevin, I give you some percentage here. I agree with you. I actually think like maybe because they featured the female more. What? Crazy. And she had more. He just didn't have a ton to do in the storyline, you know. So he bumps down a little bit for me, but he's still super sexy, was super nice, was super into it, was a nerd. So I'm getting 8.7.
Okay.
I'm giving him a tie with
I like it.
Yeah.
I would also
everybody
give
was high.
Rachel-
High marks.
I would also give Rachel a 10,000.
Without a
Sexy.
doubt.
Agreed.
So
Agreed.
sexy. Oh my god.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Oh my
So,
god.
Like Hallmark, man, make that happen. You gotta cast both of these people, but you definitely have to cast.
Look at us.
Yo, that was the best movie. Oh yeah, we got.
I like that. Why don't we keep it up?
All right, we can keep it up like that.
Wait,
I gotta reframe.
we can do this for our thumbnail. Everybody do something for the thumbnail, and I can screen cap it. That's fine. Yeah, that looks great.
So thank you for joining us to talk about some hot dudes.
Oh yeah,
hot dudes.
Oh, hot dude mode.
Kevin, you didn't give me a slide for what's happening next week or anything.
I didn't want to make one. It's so funny. I run out of steam when we get to the end of the year. We do have 5 more movies, even though there are 4 next week, and then we'll talk about that in a second. But the upcoming movies, we have Heaven Down Here on Thursday, which actually, since this comes out on Thursday, if you're watching it today, it's tonight. That is on. We have A Secret Gift of Christmas on Friday, Sealed with a List, which looks terrible, on Saturday, and Friends and Family Christmas on Sunday. Typically, that's it. That's the end of the countdown. However, this year, there's one more movie, which is next Thursday, Miracle in Bethlehem, PA, with friend of the show, Benjamin Ayers. So you can check out. There are only 5 left. I would be willing to bet that they will not bump off Round and Round as the number 1 for this person. I believe that person.
Not
This
same. Round and Round.
Yeah.
1.
What awesome inclusivity. We have the Hanukkah movie's my number 1, and the number 2 is the Santa Summit. So it's like you do have like everything, like a little bit of everything.
Oh my god. They've outdone themselves. They really have. I even have some friends that like never watch Hallmark movies that were like, that was really good.
Yeah.
Like Alex
are they
Levitt,
all like
friend of the
this?
show, was like, I saw that Hallmark's doing a Hanukkah one because they're Jewish. And I was like, yeah. And he was like, also the dude like has an improv podcast. Did you know that? Like the lead dude. So I was like, oh, so
I'm raising my score.
Yeah, I know he's an improviser. You're at 9.
Anyone else is an improviser?
8.9.
Yep.
But Kevin and Michael,
yes,
because we're referring to you as Michael now. I need to remind the folks at home that you can see Hallmarkable 3 more times.
I thought it was over. I'm so
end of
sorry. I
this
would have
year.
had a slide. I apologize.
No. Don't you worry about it. We've got a show this Friday at 8 o'clock. We've got a show this Saturday at 2 p.m. And then we're doing a very special Royal Hallmarkable next Friday at 8 o'clock.
Nice.
Yeah.
You know what? If I had this, if my crown was put together, I'd put it on for you. But
Bummer.
I got you the logo.
There it is. Wow. Mike is so quick. He's so quick.
Awesome.
Hey, everybody. I'm doing a drunk in games playing reading of a Charles Dickens Christmas Carol with puppets on Friday the 22nd. It's already over halfway sold out. So get your tickets now.
Awesome.
Drunktext.com. There we go. That was my question.
Amazing.
Look at that.
Kevin,
I'm not
are you doing anything, or are you?
You can plug us, plug the show.
Oh yeah. You can write to us. You can follow us if you want to tell us we're crazy or say, hey, I agree with you guys. That tree was decorated horribly. You can write to us at remarktheshow@gmail.com. You can follow us on Instagram and Facebook at Remark the Show. And tell us what you're up to. Tell us about boat parades that you've seen in your neck of the woods. We'd love to hear and talk to you about it.
Also, tell us if you would buy a shirt that said, not for me, nope. Like if I just made a shirt that had all of the...
Yeah.
I wouldn't buy it either. That's fine.
Neither would I. Yeah.
It's been a long, exhausting day. Your troubles just won't go away. you through these is watching cheesy holiday movies. You think that you're above them, but you know that you love them. So get ready to listen. Now here comes Kevin and Kristin. Oh yeah.
Yay!